This is Tales and Whispers, where every story is felt, not just heard.
All right, today we're going to talk about something truly incredible. It's a story about resilience, yeah, but also about a medical choice so wild it turned a young boy's life around. And I mean that literally, by 180 degrees.
So I want you to just picture this. Go back to 2018. It's just a normal day, right? The sun's out, you can hear kids playing, and for one family, everything is about to change in a way they could never, ever have seen coming.
So our story kicks off in a place that's probably familiar to a lot of us. Just a moment of simple childhood fun. And this is where we meet a young boy whose whole universe is about to be shaken. Let me introduce you to Liam. He's 7 years old, and for him, life is the soccer field. He lives for that feeling of chasing the ball, the sound of the cheers, scoring goals. But then, one day, right in the middle of a game, he just stops. He's got this limp, and at first, everyone figures it's just a simple injury, right? A pulled muscle, maybe. But the thing is, this limp, it just won't go away. What started as a small problem pretty quickly turns into confusion and, honestly, fear. The pain gets worse, and the limp becomes more and more obvious. You have to imagine it from Liam's point of view. It's a terrifying question. It's like his own body is betraying him, and nobody knows why.
So after what feels like a lifetime of doctor's visits, scans, and just anxious waiting, the family's fear finally gets a name. It was just one single word, but that word would completely change the course of their lives.
That word was cancer, and in that one moment, everything else just fades away. This one word explained everything, the pain, the limp, the fear, and it brought a whole new world of challenges with it.
So the specific diagnosis was osteosarcoma. It's a type of bone cancer. But here's the real problem. What made this so incredibly difficult? It was all about the location. The tumor was sitting right above his knee, dangerously close to the growth plate, the part of the bone that's responsible for making sure his leg grows as he gets older.
The family was just frozen. The first option the doctors put on the table was devastating. To save his life, they said they might have to amputate his entire leg. For a little boy who lives and breathes soccer, that future was just unimaginable. But just when it seemed like there was no hope, a new doctor at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, Dr. Alexander Arkader, came into the picture. And he had an idea. It was radical. It was unconventional. But it was also full of hope. Through all of these terrifying conversations, Liam had just one thing on his mind. One simple, powerful goal. He just wanted to go back to playing. And that one sentence became the North Star for his family's decision. This wasn't just about saving his life anymore. It was about saving the life that he loved. So Dr. Arkader suggested something called a rotationplasty. It sounds bizarre, and I'm sure for Liam's parents, it sounded almost impossible at first. The basic idea is that you remove the diseased part of the limb, but then you repurpose the healthy part that's left in a completely new way. Okay, you gotta hear how this works because it is wild. So, step 1. The surgeon goes in and removes the tumor, which means the knee and part of the thigh have to go. Then, and this is the mind-blowing part, they take his healthy lower leg and foot, and they literally turn it around, a full 180 degrees. Then they reattach it to what's left of his thigh. Now, why on earth would they do that? Well, get this. His ankle joint is now in the position to work as a brand new knee. And here's why that's a game changer. With a typical amputation, a prosthetic leg is controlled from the hip. It's really just a replacement. But with rotationplasty, Liam would be able to control his prosthesis using his own foot and calf muscles. His nerves, his muscles, he's in control. That prosthetic leg becomes a real functional part of his body. So they made the call. They chose this path. It looked strange, for sure, but it offered Liam the best possible chance to run again someday. But that surgery, well, that was only the very beginning of a long, long road. 13 hours. Think about that. That's how long the surgery took. 13 hours of his family just waiting, hoping, praying. I mean, that's an eternity when your child's entire future is on the line. His recovery was just this series of tiny, hard-won battles. The first time he even tried to stand up. The first time he fell, and more importantly, the first time he got himself back up. Then came the first shaky steps without any help. And then, 9 months down the line, the moment that must have felt impossible, his first run. But you know, the real win here wasn't just about the physical stuff. The truly important moment in his recovery was seeing his smile come back. That was the smile of a kid who was taking back control of his own body and his own life.
Through all of it, the pain, the endless physical therapy, the struggle to learn how to move again, Liam never lost sight of his goal, the one thing that drove him from day one. He did it. He made it back onto that soccer field, and not just to watch from the sidelines, not as some honorary guest. No, he was back as a player. He might have a different way of running, sure, but he had the same heart, the same fire. He reached his goal. You see, Liam's story is so much more than just a cool medical procedure. It's about a family who just refused to let fear make their decisions, a doctor who dared to think differently, and a little boy who showed everyone what real determination looks like. And that, right there, is the heart of this whole thing. Look, sometimes life just throws the absolute worst-case scenario at you. But what Liam's story shows us is that it might not be the only scenario. It teaches us that hope, well, it's not some passive feeling you just wait around for. No, it's a decision, a choice you actively make. And every now and then, that one single choice can be the difference between a story ending and a whole new one beginning.